Hey everybody, Casey Transformed here again, and today I have the Deluxe class, the Transformers Cybertron or Galaxy Force Deluxe class Dirt Boss. Now this is the Transformers Cybertron form. This is not the Galaxy Force release, but they're basically about the same. You can see he's kind of a monster truck, very nice looking monster truck. He's from the arc in the show where they were on the Speed Planet, and basically there was a big race to get the Speed Key. You know, here. This planet key, except it was gold in the show. And yeah, he was also kind of a Crumple Zone and Ransac's boss, if I remember correctly. And he was kind of the semi-antagonist, you know, the racer you don't want to win, you know, that kind of thing. Speaking of competitor, here he is next to Hotshot. Here he is next to the Age of Extinction Bumblebee. You can see he's much bigger, but it's mostly because of the height of the wheels. And here he is next to the Galaxy Force Voyager Starscream. The only Galaxy Force figure I own. So yeah, you can see he's a pretty large for Deluxe, mostly with these wheels, but they do make him quite a bit bigger. They do have quite a bit of mass to them themselves. So yeah. He also rolls really nice. He's got nice little translucent wheels. The green's a little weird, but it doesn't put me off. It works with the purple. It just seems so weird to have it on here. You can see he's got like silver paint apps there, a little bit of silver here, some silver and green paint apps all over, silver on the here, and just enough paint to break it all up, and some kind of green headlights. Also, when I was a kid, I used to think there was some kind of disc launching gimmick. If you don't know what I'm talking about, like a lot of the Beast Wars toys, and I think even some of the RAD toys had a disc, usually had some kind of disc launching gimmick. I know like Armada Red Alert had disc launching gimmick in his chest. So yeah, nothing there, it's just, that's how he transforms. But as a kid I thought, you know, he does have a gimmick. Like every other Cybertron toy, he has a key slot. So you take your key, you put it in the back, and his wheels extend out. Now in the dang, that always gets stuck in there. In the show he used this to kind of block the racetrack, you know, make it where nobody could get by him. But as a toy, looks kind of cool. It's not bad, but considering what this gimmick does to this toy, I don't hate this gimmick, but this gimmick does get on my nerves a bit. Especially since it's kind of useless for the key slot to do that, because when you transform him, when you turn this 90 degrees, it will cause the wheels to do it anyway. Here, let me show you real quick. Like say we're transforming him, just go ahead and turn this part 90 degrees, and you can see that automatically extend. Which is nice considering the wheels coming out are kind of necessary for transformation, that you don't actually need the key. But still, I don't care much for the gimmick. But yeah, there's Dirt Boss. Oh yeah, and he's a Decepticon. Never understood why there was like Decepticons and Autobots on other planets when clearly the wars had stopped like years ago. And I haven't watched Cybertron in a while, so I probably got something wrong. Anyway, so let's get back to let's actually transform him this time. What you want to do is, I see Saul just kind of bring the legs out on his little hinges, swivel them, fold the bumper forward like that to make his feet. As you can see, he now has feet. Then you're going to swivel this whole piece around, and at about here, it doesn't matter which way you do it, about that halfway point, it makes the wheels pop out. Alright, let me get the camera situated. Go ahead and bring the arms down. You're just unpegging them from two different spots. They're pegged in here at the hands, and here at the kind of cut, arm. That's one thing I caught that was kind of cool, is you peg it in with his actual hands. His hands aren't just there, they're actually being used for something. Fold these down, fold this entire chunk back, and grab right there. You can see there's a little piece you can grab, and just fold down the head. And there he is in robot mode, if you can stand. Alright, let's get you a look at him. Alright, here he is next to the Galaxy Force Starscream. And here he is next to the Deluxe Hotshot. You can see he's a bit, head-wise, he's smaller than Hotshot, but with all the kibble, he's actually about the same size. Oop, I knocked him out of the way. Yeah, he's basically about the same size, just a bit shorter. So let's get those two out of the way. Now, one cool thing about Dirt Boss is that his key gimmick actually changes in robot mode. As you can see, his wheels are already spread out, so the key gimmick's not going to make them do anything. What you actually do is you plug it into the same place, and it makes his guns flip down. You can already see one of the problems with this toy. I don't mean the key getting stuck either. So yeah, you can get these little machine guns. By the way, if you actually, here, I'll show you this. Fold the head. If you actually still had them in car mode, sort of, you can see they would actually work as kind of smokestacks. The only problem is that it would leave the arms nowhere to peg in besides just, you know, using the hands. So, kind of like that. But yeah, it's kind of cool that if you actually leave them out, it still doesn't look wrong. Now, let's go over his detailing first, the stuff I do like. It's got a nice detail on the feet. The legs do look a bit weird because, you know, they're kind of just sticking out on these joints. You know, kind of the most obvious robot joints ever. They were clearly supposed to look like ball joints, but my thing is, why didn't they just give them ball joints? And I mean, in Cybertron, they had ball joints. So they really could have just had a ball out on the stem and just had the leg pegged on there. So I really do not get why they didn't just do that, because this doesn't look too good. Those hips do not look good. The arms look really nice, though. Got nice little shoulder pads with silver on them. The arms are nice and beefy and look like he actually has kind of like arm shields or things to beat people in the face with. Yeah. His chest is just, you know, the hood of a car, but it actually looks like a chest. It doesn't just look like a hood of a car. And the red actually really helps with that because it just, you know, it doesn't look as much like a windshield. So yeah, he actually tries to use all of his car detailing to his full extent, and yeah, they kind of cheaped out there. They could have painted the inside of the legs too, but I can understand why. It's the bottom of the car in car mode, and it's the inside of the legs in robot mode. Nobody's really going to see it that much. What we can talk about that's really nice is that head sculpt. I really like, not asymmetrical head sculpts, and this one really just works for me. You can see he kind of has like this 3-tiered little eye that kind of looks like some kind of gun, or maybe some kind of scope. And he definitely has a mouth. That's not a mouthpiece. He actually does have a mouth. It's just like this little green bit. And I can't tell if it's chipped or if it's just misshapen like that make it look like he has a weird mouth. It might actually be chipped from years and years, you know? But yeah, he actually looks really nice. He's got a little, kind of grill detail there and here. It's not painted here, but still nice. He even has all this detail on the green in the back. So yeah, I mean, that's one cool thing, really great thing about the Cybertron series was that even spots you're never going to look, you're going to get a lot of nice little details. Now on to why I don't like this toy. Basically everything else. I mean, the articulation is fine. Let's just go ahead and get that out of the way. You know, head swivels, shoulder swivel, hinge, swivel, swivel, hinge, swivel, and hinge. So yeah, he's got the basic stuff. He's got just about everything you would want in a Deluxe Transformer. He can do some poses. Oh, you can even use the ankles a bit if you want, because you can kind of extend or close them for different kind of poses, And you can see why that posability is not really all that great. I mean, with the legs, that was just me being nitpicky about how they look. But with all this kibble, I mean, first off, there's nothing you can do with this. This just takes up so much room on the shelf, which I've actually usually take a rubber band, put it around here, just have it hold in like this. But I'm afraid it's going to eventually start bending and even breaking this plastic. I really do wish they had just drilled 2 peg holes into part of these wheels, spin them to where the peg hole fits onto these pegs right here. That would have actually been really nice to have. But nope, just gotta deal with that. You got this big chunk of kibble just hanging off the, head here. It's not even like, I wish it would completely fold down onto the back. Because really looking at it, the only reason it doesn't look worse is because the wheels are basically blocking it. But if you didn't have those wheels there, you would just have a big chunk of kibble just hanging in the air right behind on like the corner of his back. It's neck kibble. He has neck kibble. It looks really weird. And the head doesn't fold all the way down. And that's not my figure. It doesn't go down. I mean, look, the weight's too much. Even if you could get it down. And even then, it'd still just be sitting there. It's not actually tabbing into anything. So yeah, as much as I like this figure, he just doesn't look good. He just takes up too much room. If I could remove just this piece here, that'd be great. I'd be so happy if I could just somehow get this piece to fold down. All it would take is just one thing, either these not being here or this not being here, to make this figure much higher on my, likability list. But as it is, he looks really cool, but It's just you got 2 or 3 different things that are all clashing with each other, and they can't be fixed because they're in each other's way. You know, I can't even bring the... I've actually thought about it and actually tried, you know, doing this and kind of just having all this around his head, like, you know, kind of like a Motor Master thing. But you can't because, you know, his head doesn't angle out the right way. So yeah, there's no way to really fixing it other than just have all that kibble hanging off. And honestly, the wheels don't even bug me much. It's mostly this piece just hanging off. And I get this is where the gimmick is, but... I mean, look how well incorporated Hotshot's gimmick is. Hell, look how well incorporated Starscream's gimmick is. No matter where you put his arms, anywhere you put them, you plug that key into that one spot and both swords flip out. Both of them. From the chest. That little gimmick, and you can see, for Starscream, that little gimmick runs through there, and it's able to do it at any angle he moves. Now granted, it's probably something pretty simple that does it, but still, that's a really cool little incorporated gimmick that really doesn't take up a lot of space. I mean, it's just this little chunk on his back, and it's on his back, not on his neck, sticking up all weird like this. If it just folded down like Starscream, you know, does, then I would have no problem with this figure. I'd still recommend it, but I wouldn't pay too much for him. I wouldn't pay more than somewhere between $7 and $10 for him. If it's more than $10, I wouldn't say he's worth your time. The only people I can really recommend it to, like, you know, as I have to get, is just the, you know, Cybertron enthusiasts, the people who want all the kind of characters that appeared on the show from Cybertron. Yeah, he's not a bad toy. He's alright. I'm Casey Transform. This toy kind of just doesn't impress me too much. And I'm out of here. Go get Hotshot instead. Hotshot's a much nicer toy.